Welcome to PLZ Soccer's football show on YouTube. I'm Peter Martin and absolutely delighted that you could join us on the programme today. It's Monday. Alan Rough and Barry Ferguson are my guests on the show. Delighted that the two guys can look back over the weekend's football. Here's what happened in the Premiership. Yeah, lots to talk about over the weekend in the Premiership. We'll also look back over Championship, League One and League Two results in Scotland. Barry Ferguson and Ruffy are with me. Let's look back at Pittodrie. That was the game of the day yesterday. Not without more than a few incidents to talk about. First of all, was it harsh, Ruffy, that Morelos got the red card in the first place, or did he give the referee a decision to make?
I think it was the linesman who gave a decision to make. You know, obviously the big boy McKenna had sort of banged into him and he just sort of retaliated. I think it looked worse in slow motion. You know, I think initially it just looked like a wee flick, but when you saw it up close, it was a full-blooded kick into the back of the leg, and unfortunately, whether he hit him or he didn't hit him, you know, is deemed as violent conduct, and it's a red card.
I thought it was harsh at the time. I'm not arguing the letter of the law, Barry. I think the referee, once he's been alerted by the assistant on the far side, you know, all bets are off. You run the risk.
Yep, I agree with you. I thought it was harsh, but for me, silly as well. If you ask any centre forward, or even myself when I played centre midfield, you're always getting people barging in and trying to get like a nip off you. And all he needs to do is wait till he gets him an attack or a header or whatever, just give him a wee dunt back. So I think it was silly. He certainly let his teammates down and the Rangers fans who travelled up to Pittodrie, but thankfully they got away with it and they got a point.
Okay, a couple of things about the manager's comments afterwards. You know, he mentioned that Rangers were better than Aberdeen with 11 men, better than Aberdeen with 10 men. So I can't argue with him on that. I thought Aberdeen were very poor, Ruffy.
Yeah, I think, I mean, everybody who was watching the game up there was saying they looked as if they were tired. But again, you can't take anything away for Rangers. I thought the organisation, when they went down to 10 men, was very good, and Aberdeen just couldn't break them down at all. But again, as the game went on, you know, Rangers obviously looking for the 1-0, and in all credit, they should have got it. You know, that the way they played, and they deserved it. So I think Aberdeen are the lucky ones to get a point out of this one. I think Rangers were everything they did throughout that 90 minutes should have got the 3 points.
Yeah, delighted for Bruce Anderson when you see young players, and Aberdeen have got 2 or 3 young players that could emerge this season and maybe force Derek McInnes into thinking whether they're worthy of a start or not. So they got the late equaliser. The one thing I didn't agree with Steven Gerrard on was quite simply this siege mentality that he's developing after game one, that the refs have got it in for us and Rangers haven't got the decisions over the years. I mean, I can see a role reversal coming. 10 years prior, when Rangers were winning everything, there was accusations of Celtic's conspiracy theorists. Now it seems to have gone full circle.
Yeah, I can understand. Look, it's the heat of the moment. I think he's just really disappointed in losing that goal the last few minutes, and he's come out and made the comments. I think if he looks back and today maybe regret it, but I see what he's trying to do. He is trying to create a siege mentality, everybody's against this type thing. Because listen, let's be honest, the last couple of years it's not been good enough at Rangers. Celtic and Aberdeen have been miles in front. So I can understand what he's trying to create in there.
Yeah, he's kicking every ball at the moment, Ruffy. One thing I would say, I think from a lot of Rangers fans' perspective, they're looking and thinking, you know, you can see signs that nobody's slacking under Steven Gerrard.
No, you can see an organisation in the team itself. That's what I said there earlier. You know, when they went down to 10 men, it's as if they'd worked on that eventuality happening. Every player on the part knew exactly what they were to do to see the game off. Obviously, the penalty helped to defend it a wee bit better. But yeah, I thought throughout the team, you know, I can see where he's coming from. You know, and I think it's a MIRREN. I've got Rangers at home next week, and I think that could be a big game for Rangers at home.
Yep, okay. That was the result of the early kick-off. Later on, it was all about Hibs against Motherwell. And again, I think Neil Lennon's quick to point out that, you know, Hibs will struggle to hold on to John McGuinness. He set up a beautiful goal, and Hibs in the end ran out 3-0 winners.
Yeah, well, if you're a Hibs supporter, you're certainly getting value for money. You're getting goals, you're getting excitement. Yeah, they won quite comfortably, but as I said, I was talking to Barry there, Motherwell had a few chances, you know, so if that's the way it's going to be, you're going to get your money's worth, you're going to get lots of goals if that's the way it's going to be during the season. But good that, again, Lenny has given a couple of the young boys a chance as well, so if you're a home supporter, that's what you want to see.
Yeah, Stevie Mallon there, you can see the free kick. I mean, he dispatched it beautifully into the corner. He looks as if he's a steal for them.
Yeah, certainly. I spoke to a few players who played with him at St Mirren before he went down to Barnsley, and he's a guy that's got a lot of ability, and he's shown that since he's come up to Hibs. He's scored, I think, 4 goals now. You can see his quality at set pieces, but every time I've watched him of late in a Hibs jersey, he's looked that bit of quality that they needed, because obviously they lost Dylan McGeoch, so he's come in and I'm sure the Hibs fans will forget about him pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm not so sure they'll forget about John McGinn, though. I mean, this is okay getting 2 or 3 clubs interested, Ruffy. It's when someone pounces with the right money. Suddenly, Neil Lennon will know that balancing act. If he goes and it's too near a window where he can't get someone in, they leave themselves exposed.
Yeah, you would think that Lenny being in the game long enough, he'll have a list. He'll have a list of players if the eventuality that does happen, you know, that he can move very, very quickly. But again, if he's going to try and replace him, he's going to spend most of his money, because if he goes down to England, that's what he's going to get hit with, that kind of money for that kind of player. So, yeah, it'll be a blow. I think he's trying to play it down a wee bit now, but I think we're all expecting some kind of bids coming in from somewhere.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, with regards to, just before we talk about the 4 games on the Saturday, suddenly with the draw today, both Hibs and Rangers now know who they'll be facing if they can get past their opponents this week in the Europa League, which is absolutely crucial to them. I think from Hibs' point of view, they've got Darren McGregor and Florian Camberry that they're hoping are going to be fit for it, but it's Zenit St Petersburg or Dynamo Minsk. That, for me, either one, suddenly you realise where we are in Scottish football. That's the big hurdle after this tie this week.
Well, we've seen Zenit last year playing against Celtic, and they had some real quality players, so that's going to be a tough one for Hibs. But listen, I believe that anything can happen in a game. I'm sure Hibs just want to get through, and Hibs have got good quality players as well. So you never know what happens, but it is a tough draw for them.
Yeah, I'm not dismissing Malda out of this in any capacity, Robbie. I just hope, they get a good result over the both legs. Rangers, suddenly, the old name of Progress Niederkorn comes back to haunt them. They know that Russian side Ufa or Progress Niederkorn will be waiting if they get past Maribor.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the names don't jump out and hit you as traditional European names, but certainly we all know that these teams are very, very wealthy backers, and generally when you come up against them, I don't know how, but they seem to always have a couple of Brazilians in the side or a couple of Argentinians, and that means they're paying money. So yeah, there'll be difficult ones, but I think if you look at that, I think maybe Rangers have got the better deal of the 2 ties.
Okay, you can give us your view on that on our PLZ Soccer YouTube channel, facebook.com/PLZ Soccer, and our Twitter account as well. Give us your thoughts on that. Over and above that, Ruffy, in the Champions League, of course, Celtic AEK Athens, no mean feat. They now know that if they get past them, it's Malmo of Sweden or Vidi who'll be lying in wait for them, the Hungarian side. So I don't know, I look at Celtic right now and I just think it's a well-oiled machine that's waiting for a couple of additions here and there.
Yeah, it is, but I mean, every time I pick up a paper or I talk to a Celtic supporter, that old defensive problem keeps coming up. Again, although it was late on, they lost a goal against Livingston. It just wasn't properly defended, and that is the biggest, I think, failure when you go into better players, better teams. that's where they could let themselves down. But you're right, from midfield to forward, you saw the goal that they scored at the weekend there. You know, it was at pace from one end of the park to the other. Every player was up with the speed of the ball by the time it got at the other end, and that's what they've got the advantage over everybody else. They've got that pace in midfield.
Yeah, Rogic, Edouard and Cham all chipping in with goals. And I think middle to front, they've got a goal threat, Barry. I still think they need, reinforcements at the back end, Celtic. There's talk about Daniel Arzani getting closer as a deal and a loan from Man City. Even talk of Patrick Roberts coming back to Celtic, but they do need additions.
Yeah, they do, certainly in the defence, but for me, midfield and up top, I think they're top quality. They've got, I think, their midfield that I rate. Obviously, you know what I think of McGregor. I think he's going to become a top quality midfielder. Scott Brown, obviously, the experience. Rogic, and Cham, very good footballers. And up front, that's the difference for me. They've got 3 top quality strikers, 3 out and out goal scorers. So I think that's one place that defensively, I still think they're a bit weak, and I'm sure that's what Brendan Rodgers is trying to look into the transfer market and try and get a centre half and even a right full back in.
Yeah. Any disgrace for Kenny Miller and his Livingston side, 3-1 on the day?
No, I watched Kenny's interview after the game, and they're not going to look back and look at this result. It's about the teams that are going to be round about. Livingston, like your St Mirren's and Hamilton Accies and Dundee's. That's the teams that they'll need to look to get 3 points off. They've done well enough. Listen, teams that went there and get beat 7-8-0, and they've come away with a 3-1 defeat. And Kenny says he was proud of these players. They worked ever so hard. So listen, I'm sure he'll do a good job and hopefully keep Livingston up.
Okay, Ruffy, I know you won't want to hear this, but I did mention to you I was impressed with Hearts, the way they dismantled Inverness. Now their first game in the league, maybe not so much in the first half, but second half, boy, they came out and just, again, dismantled Hamilton Accies. A Hamilton Accies that I think might struggle, but nevertheless, 4-1 in the end, an emphatic win for Craig Levine's side.
Yeah, and that's what you want at the start of the season. You want to be scoring goals. They're doing that, and confidence breeds confidence, and if you keep getting into games and you've got players on the side who are prepared to score goals, particularly from midfield as well, players we don't know really that much about, but no, for me the good thing about it was the quality of that part looked a lot better than what it usually looks like. So well done to Hamilton for spending some money and making it a good surface.
Yeah, and of course, Craig Levine's having nothing of Stephen McLean sitting on the sidelines. He's on playing in an AstroTurf pitch, and he's got something to prove, because I think most of us actually maybe raised an eyebrow at him signing at his age. He'll be 36 in a couple of weeks. Yeah,
well, I wasn't. Obviously, he was a young kid at Rangers, and I've watched his career as well, and for me, he looks as fit as he's ever been. But it was a surprise to see him playing that pitch, because he never played a game for St Johnstone. But going on about Hearts, there's always a concern when you bring 11 players in, but they seem to have gelled really well. He's obviously done a lot of work in pre-season, and my friend was there at the game. He's a Hamilton supporter, and he says the second half Hearts looked a real quality team. So I'm sure Craig Levine's quietly confident they'll have a good season.
Yeah, I think, Ruffy, and we said it towards the tail end of the season, that he would bring in certain players, start to mould the team his way. I'll hold my hands up. I wasn't in any way enamoured with Hearts last season, because I thought at times, rough and tumble, try and knock the teams out of their stride. They were very aggressive and at times very route one. This time around, early days, but I like the way they've got the ball down. They're starting to play good football.
Yeah, but it is early days, as you said. Inverness, and Hamilton, there's going to be bigger games around the corner. And I think there's a big one this weekend, isn't it? The CELTIC at Tynecastle. So they're the games where you'll be able to judge, whether they're everything you're saying they are. They do look good on the eye, but it's a difference when you come up against better quality, and then you can judge where you are.
Okay, from me raving about Hearts to everyone continuing to rave about Kilmarnock. It was a good win, 2-0. Boyd scored, not your old mate Chris, but Scott Boyd got the goal. Over and above that, Mikel and Jolie with another goal for Killie. I'm not a fan of the AstroTurf, but nevertheless, they looked good. They looked impressive. St Johnstone were poor.
Yep, they've carried it on for last season. They've not signed many players, Kilmarnock. I don't know whether he's got a big budget to go and sign new players. But listen, I watched the game, I watched the highlights, and for me, Kilmarnock looked comfy. They looked at, I know it was nothing each at half time, but they came out in the second half and deserved to win the game. Jordan Jones, again, for me, looked a menace out in the left wing. He's a proper player. I'm surprised that nobody's come in and had a wee nibble at him. He's a player that I enjoy watching. Old-fashioned type winger. But for me, it was too easy for Kilmarnock. I thought St Johnstone were really poor. I think Tommy Wright's got a lot of work to do there. I'm sure he'll be disappointed the way they played.
Yeah, Jones loves cutting in on his right foot on that left side, Ruffy. I mean, more often, it's just that curler he likes into the top corner of the post each time.
And the thing about it is, he's going to do it, but he's got so much pace. He's got a wee half a yard ahead, the defender, and once he gets into the dangerous position, the defender can't touch him, because 9 times he's at the edge of that 18-yard box, and if you touch him and he goes down, you're in trouble. But no, it's good to see players, old-style players like that, who are prepared to take players on. Yeah,
I've got to ask you this, Ruffy. I mean, it reminded me of Ali McLeod in Argentina in '78, but I looked at the dugout shots of Neil McCann after Jack Hamilton's blunder and the head in the hands, and then the shake of the head, not to obviously try and extend it as long as possible, but if Jack Hamilton had a look at his manager, he'd have known it was just an absolute howler that cost him the game.
Yeah, but I don't think it was just that howler. I think it happened so many times last year, with Dundee, and Neil, I think he went on record to say, these are the things we need to cut out, and then lo and behold, you come to the first game and everything that happened last year starts again. I mean, if they went away with one each, that would have been a big bonus for them at the start of the season. But there's nothing you can do about it. If you want to build up for the back, you've either got a goalkeeper who's very comfortable on the ball, or you haven't, and unfortunately the boy just made a mistake.
At that stage as well, they were on top. They had 4 or 5 chances, and then the goalkeeper goes and does that. It's one of the ones. It didn't look comfy when the ball come back. So instead of going with your left foot, just whack it into Rosette, into the stand, and get the team back in and just focus. You know what I mean? It was a hard one. I shouldn't say this, but I was laughing at Neil. You know what I mean? You could see the disappointment in his face.
Yeah.
I don't think he could believe that he's not just whacked the ball out the pitch. So it's a disappointing one for Dundee, because actually in the second half they looked good. A lot of good play down the right side, a lot of good chances. So I think that'll be frustrating for Neil.
What do you do as a goalkeeper if you just get in and put your head down and can't look at anybody?
No, you just hold your hands up and hope that your other teammates appreciate that they're going to make mistakes as well. But there's nothing you can do. You can't talk your way out of it. It's just sorry about that, guys. I'll try and not make sure it happens again. And yeah, that's the way it is.
Okay, here's a look confirmation of the weekend's score lines in the Premiership in Scotland. Aberdeen and Rangers sharing the points at Pittodrie. Celtic with that win as they kick off their bid to try and get 8 titles in a row. Hearts impressive with a 4-1 win. Hibs 3-0 at home to Motherwell. And Kilmarnock with the win, along with St Mirren Alan Stubbs getting a good start. It'll be a big season for the Saints as well, trying to build on what Jack Ross achieved in the Championship. So that's how it looks in the Premiership. Here's the Championship score lines. Not good reading there for Ruffy. We'll get his thoughts in a moment. Ayr United putting 2 past Partick Thistle. Could Shaba Laszlo be one of the favourites for the sack early on? A 3-2 defeat at home against Dunfermline. John Robertson's Inverness got the win away at Falkirk. It was a share of the spoils between Morton and Queen of the South, and Ross County with a slender 1-0 win over Alloa. In League One, as you can see, Dumbarton with a good away win at East Fife. Airdrieonians with a 3-1 win at Forfar, and a good win for Arbroath at Montrose. Stenhousemuir edging it against Brecon, and Stranraer and Raith Rovers sharing the points. And League Two, just confirmation of the results there, and a good point for Queen's Park up at Peterhead. Annan and Elgin shared the spoils. Berwick Rangers with a 1-0 win over Stirling Albion. Clyde 2-0 over Cowdenbeath, and Edinburgh City with a good home win over Albion Rovers. So roughy hard times there for Alan Archibald to start off with. Does he still need more faces coming in?
Yeah, I think everybody knows that. You know, the quality we lost at the end of the season because we went down a division. Obviously, a lot of the big players left and went to Premier League sides. So yeah, the quality's not there. But you can't go into games and hand teams with 2 goals at a start and then expect, you know, to try and claw it back again. And Ayr United were very well organised. The boy Shankland up front just now is on fire. Everything he touches is coming off for him. So, you know, we need players in. We know we need to get them in quick.
Oh, we know, eh, lass? See that, Barry? Eh? He can get away with that because he's a Partick Thistle director. Anyway, there had been a full-scale riot last season on this show. Of course, you mentioned Lawrence Shanklin. Dundee, the latest club to be linked with him. Hearts monitoring the situation. 9 goals start of the season. What a start after the 29 of last season.
I was just about to say that. Fantastic season. I know a lot of people say, oh, it was only League One, but he's come up into the Championship. Again, he's played in the Betfred Cup, scored a few goals, and obviously got off to a flyer in the league campaign. He's a boy that's been at, I think it was Aberdeen he was at, so he's floated about for a couple of years, but he's settled down at Ayr United and he's banging in the goal, so I'm not surprised if somebody comes in and puts a bid in and tries to entice him to their club.
Yeah, he's still only 22 years of age, so he's got a bit of first team action on a regular basis to show what he can do. I think it could be confirmed tomorrow, but Rangers' Borna Barisic, he played for Osijek, and clearly Steven Gerrard liked what he was looking at. He could come into that Rangers back line if he gets the all clear from the medical, first of all, in Glasgow today.
Yeah, but it's hard to tell. I mean, I watched the 2 games. It's hard to say how good a player he is, but certainly in the 2 games against Rangers, he was the Croats' best player by a country mile. He was our captain, and it's a position that Rangers need to strengthen. Obviously, to me, it doesn't look if Lee Wallace is going to come back into the frame. Declan John looks if he's going to move on. I've seen that Swansea are interested. So it's a position that Rangers need to strengthen, and I think they'll be desperate to bring a left back in because Flanagan's not a left back.
Yeah.
I can see him going to right back and
I think he'll be a good signing for Rangers, Flanagan.
I like him. I think the fans will take to him. He's blood and guts. He gives everything he's got. He's played at a high level as well, Peter. So I think he'll eventually move over to right back, and you'll see Tavernier move up one into the wide right position, where I think it will suit Tavernier because he's got real quality in the final third.
Yeah, big weekend, first weekend. Barry's now adopting the attitude that nobody likes us, we don't care, Ruffy, because the managers put out the rallying cry. It can only be Scottish football. It's just a great first weekend, isn't it?
Well, you could see, I mean, Steven Gerrard looks quite a laid-back guy, but you could definitely see him looking about, you know, and saying, what have I got myself into here? You know, it's a massive game to start with, you know, and that's why I think he'll be so disappointed that he never come away with the 3 points.
Yeah, he's mentioned he's kicking every ball, he's passionate, he's about to be cranked up over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, listen, I think it will take him by surprise with a few of the games that is coming up, but listen, that's what you want to be involved in football. That's why he's came and took this job. Coming up here, you've got I think the football's, we were talking about it last week, I think the football's getting better. I thought last season was a very good season in terms of quality. But I like to see his face when he goes to Celtic Park for the first time. Standing in that touchline, that will surprise him.
Yeah, absolutely. More to follow, I'm sure. More back page headlines. Thanks to Barry, thanks to Ruffy. Join us and subscribe on our YouTube channel if you can. From all of us here, thanks for watching. Good night.